We last left off at a critical inflection point in the first Turanian invasion of Iran. To recap, King Nozar of Iran has been captured by Prince Afrasiab of Turan, and Afrasiab has just ordered one of his generals, Viseh, to hunt down and kill Qaran, the Iranian general who killed Viseh's son Barman in battle and evacuated the women and children of Iran to the safe land of Pars in the south. The story continues right away, with Viseh setting off with a band of soldiers to find Qaran. But this attack is short-lived, because along the way, Viseh stumbles upon the body of his slain son, Barman, and this devastates him. Suddenly, the seemingly indestructible Turanian general collapses into grief, taking in the horrible sight. His son's banner torn, the war drums destroyed, and his body covered in blood. This fills Viseh with a vengeful rage, and he regains his composure and sets off to settle the score and kill Qaran. Soon, both Viseh and Qaran meet face to face and form ranks to begin another fateful battle. Viseh begins by mocking Qaran's forces as doomed, with the Turanian army having seized so much Iranian land. But Qaran, son of Kaveh the blacksmith, remains fierce and determined to protect Iran, so he confidently taunts Viseh that he will soon feel his blade the way his son did. This ends up rattling Viseh on the inside, and ultimately makes him too afraid to kill Qaran once the battle begins. In the chaos, the Turanian army loses its advantage, and Viseh once again collapses into grief and sorrow as he retreats back to Prince Afrasiab. So Qaran successfully manages to fend off another critical invasion phase. But the looming question everyone is asking and desperate to know the answer to is, where is Zal? If you recall, Zal, the noble Iranian hero with white hair, is the rightful ruler of the province of Zabolistan. But after the death of his father, Sam, another mighty general, Zal has been indisposed and unable to fight this battle, preoccupied with the funeral arrangements for his father. At this point, we learn that in his absence, Zal left Zabolistan in the care of his father-in-law, King Mehrab of Kabul, and the father of Princess Rudabeh. Mehrab is a wise and strong ruler, but in the face of this Turanian invasion, his ability to truly lead and defend Zabolistan is severely tested. Hearing word of Zal's absence and that Zabolistan has an interim ruler, Prince Afrasiab had sent two strong generals, Shamassas and Khazarvan, to seize the province. Shamassas to take Zabul and claim Zal's throne, and Khazarvan by advancing toward the Helmand River, both of which still exist today in the province of Sistan and Balochistan. But King Mehrab, who is very brave and very intelligent, uses a clever deception tactic on the invading forces. He opens by yelling out to Shamassas, "Long live the Turanian king! Trust me, my friends, I detest these loathsome Iranians. I am a descendant of Zahak the Serpent King after all. I only allied myself with Zal to save my own life as I waited for the right moment to take over his throne. Send Prince Afrasiab this message along with our finest jewels, and let us negotiate this takeover directly. It will speed things up and save your troops unnecessary bloodshed." And Shamassas believes him, so they arrange for a messenger to deliver the note to Afrasiab. While they wait, Mehrab finds a way to stealthily send an urgent message to Zal in secret. Zabolistan is under attack. 2 Turanian generals are leading the charge and preparing for battle, but I've stalled them with gold and misdirection. The situation is critical, Zal. Your people need you. Hurry! The message reaches Zal at the newly built grave of his father, and immediately the white-haired knight mounts his horse and rides home with his army of men to rescue Mehrab and Zabolistan. When Zal arrives, he assesses Shamasos and Khazarvan's positions and plans his first move. By now, Mehrab and the people of Zabolistan are searching for any sign of their hero. After carefully observing the situation, Zal decides on a surprise attack and fires 3 arrows into the sky, carrying his signature mark. This gives Mehrab and the local army the sign they need that Zal has returned. The next morning, the Turanian army finds Zal's arrows and realize he's nearby. Shamasos gets nervous, worried about their chances against Zal, but Khazarvan confidently asserts, "Zal is but one man. I will kill him easily. He doesn't stand a chance." Khazarvan suits up for battle as Shamasos watches from the sidelines. That is when Zal puts on his armor and orders his forces to sound the war drums and begin their march. Thus begins the next major conflict in the first Turanian invasion, the Battle of Zabolistan. The 2 armies clash with loud and ferocious force into the night, with Zal mounting a victorious first assault. But then, the Turanian Khazarvan manages to land a hard blow on Zal's chest, breaking his armor. This causes Zal and his forces to retreat, but they quickly recover and rearm to finish the job. Zal takes his ox-headed mace and charges head-on toward Khazarvan, and with a decisive blow, strikes him on the head, killing him. Zal then continues fighting and killing more Turanian warriors, including the fearsome Kalbad, and they all start dropping like flies. Seeing this, Shamasos realizes what the Turanians are up against and calls off the invasion. He and his troops break ranks and flee from Zabolistan back north toward Afrasiab, with Zal, Mehrab, and their forces chasing them out. But although the Turanians can run, they soon find out that they can't hide, because guess who is awaiting Shamasos on the other side? That's right, Qaran, son of Kaveh the blacksmith. He'd caught wind of the battle's developments and organized his men to cut off Shamasos' escape. Remember, Qaran is repeatedly described by Ferdowsi as loving battle. So seeing the frantic Turanian army is like a feast for his eyes. The mighty warrior orders the war trumpets to sound and tells his men, "You noble Iranian warriors of ardent soul, take up your spears and go into battle once more. Rob the life of every enemy." He lets out a battle cry and begins slaughtering as many Turanians as he can. In the end, only Shamasos himself and a handful of soldiers remain. They manage to escape and head back to Afrasiab, forced to report their failure to the menacing Turanian prince. Afrasiab receives the news badly. His invasion has not gone as planned, and he may have to resort to drastic measures to assert his dominance. That's when he brings forth his most valuable prisoner, King Nozad himself, and must decide whether the king of Iran is worth more to him alive or dead. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to share it or leave a review. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more Shahnameh Quest.